This video is training for Stony Brook administrators and staff on Ferpa. There are several laws governing data and data privacy. In this video, we will be covering Ferpa, which stands for Family, Educational Rights, and Privacy Act. Ferpa is a federal law designed to protect the privacy of education records. It provides guidelines for using and releasing student records. It establishes the rights of students to inspect and review their records, and provides guidelines for the correction of inaccurate and misleading data. Please take a second to answer this following question correctly. What is Ferpa? Any education institution that receives funding under any program administered by the United States Secretary of Education or enforced by the Family Compliance Office of the United States Department of Education must comply with Ferpa. Ferpa means college students must be permitted to inspect their own education records. School officials may not disclose personally identifiable information about a student, nor permit inspection of their records without their written permission unless such action is covered by certain exceptions permitted by Ferpa. An education record is any record maintained by an institution that is directly related to a student or students. This record can contain a student's name or information from which an individual student can be personally identified. These records can be in the format of file documents, materials such as handwritten, hosted on a hard drive, USB disks, or microfilm. The following records are not considered an education record: records in the sole possession of the maker, law enforcement records, records maintained exclusively for individuals in capacity as employees, medical and psychological treatment records, and alumni records. Take a moment to answer this question. Which of the following are considered education records? Select all the answers that apply. Directory information is items that are not considered harmful or to be an invasion of privacy. This information cannot be released if the student has a no release on their record. Students must be given the opportunity to request that directory information not be released. Students must be notified of the items of directory information. This information is identifiable by a privacy shade located next to your Stony Brook ID number in Solar or in PeopleSoft. Items such as your name, college of enrollment and major, enrollment status, local address, degrees and awards received, officially recognized activities and sports, local phone number, dates of attendance, date of graduation are considered directory information. Take a moment to answer the following question. Directory information may be released to third parties without the consent of the student. Which of the following items can be released without consent? Ferpa-related college education records begin for a student when he or she enrolls in a higher education institution. At the post-secondary institution, rights belong to the student in attendance regardless of the student's age. Records can be released to the parent only if one of the following conditions is met: through the written consent of the student, in compliance with the subpoena, if the student is a dependent on their parent's most recent tax return. All requests for information should be directed to the university registrar. Take a moment to test your knowledge. Under what circumstance is a professor permitted to disclose information to my parent? As a student, you have the right to be notified of your Ferpa rights at least annually. You have the right to inspect and review your educational records. Amend an incorrect record? Consent to disclosure, with exceptions. Note, however, Ferpa does not prescribe what records are to be created or kept. However, you cannot destroy records once they've been requested. Prior consent is not required by a school official with legitimate educational interest, disclosure to another institution where a student seeks to enroll or is enrolled, disclosure in connection with the receipt of financial aid, disclosure to accrediting organizations, disclosure for health or safety emergency, disclosure of directory information, or for disciplinary information. Here are a few Ferpa tips. Verify student identities with a photo ID. Shred printed documents with personally identifiable information. Password protect your USB drives. Remove files from hard drives of workstations. Put away documents with personal information. Beware of giving out information over the phone. To learn more about Ferpa, please contact the Registrar's Office at 631-632-6175. You may visit our website at www.stonybrook.edu/registrar/federal rights, or visit the Family Compliance Office of the Department of Education at www.fcom.gov. www.ed.gov/policy/gen/guide/FPCO.